So after giving it some thought, I finally caved in, and everybody was like, hey, you need to watch this, hey, you need to watch this, hey, you need to watch this. And before we jump any further, obviously you can tell from the title, I'm not talking about One Piece, okay? Jesus, never again. I finally watched Tower of God. Now, I hadn't looked up the kind of history for this show or anything. Apparently there is this big Webtoon thing, which I don't even know what the hell Webtoon is. I'm too old for that, clearly. But I did sit down and I watched the first 3 episodes available on Crunchyroll, and I have to say, this is a very, very interesting story. It's got a lot of tropes, which, you know, typical, you know, when you watch a lot of anime, you notice a lot of things. And you can kind of guess what's going to happen. So, this show really kind of struck me as this, like, odd type of, like, side story thing, because I had so many questions going into the first episode. I was like, there's no way you could put this box over my head, like I'm just not paying attention to what's going on. And so if you're somebody who's not familiar with the show or anything that's going on, we're actually gonna deep dive into it a little bit today. But also the fact that from the first episode, I had so many questions that the show did not answer, nor did it bother to kind of give me any exposition or explanation for anything, which I think is a good and bad thing. I had a question like, the main character has never seen the sun before. Like, I guess he's just been hiding underground this entire time and meets this girl named Rachel, and she kind of teaches him to be a human, which is really weird because he's a human. So I'm not really sure where the disconnect was. Like, did he lose his memory? Does you know, is this like some post-apocalyptic world where, you know, humans live in outer space, or they lived underground like in Gurren Lagann? Like, I don't understand, and none of that is given to us. But the Tower of God part is actually probably one of the more interesting parts of the show, because if you're familiar with any of the lore at all, which I'm only familiar with this much of it because it's been in a few of the games that I've played, specifically Dragon's Crown, because they actually have a stage where you climb the Tower of God, and there's nothing but a giant dragon up there. So I mean, if this show turns out to have nothing but a dragon at the top, that's gonna be very interesting. But also the art style, I want to talk about that for a second. The art style and the animation, I usually bundle these two things together because, you know, it's just, they're visual cues and you see them at the same time. So the show is kind of drawn weird, like it's animated in such a strange way, but also at the same time, I love the way it looks. It looks really, really modern. It looks really good. And there hasn't really been a whole lot of things that make me go, I don't really want to watch this. And then even like with some of the comedic cues and stuff like that, where the animation completely changes, is hilarious. Like, the show is really good, and it does a very good job of capturing me, and actually like caring about these characters, because at first I was like, oh, this character's a little dumb. And then there's this other character who's kind of like, oh, I'm clearly the smartest person out here. But it's like, and then there's this like alligator type character who's like clearly like the brute and the comedic relief and stuff in a lot of the really tense situations. And I absolutely love it. So given the fact that 3 episodes have released, and there's a Webtoon thing with like, I think there's like, let's see, they're on season 3, episode 50 something. I have no idea how many episodes are in a season, but hey, we're about to find out. We're gonna Google all of this. I have no idea what I'm in for, so hopefully I don't get spoiled on anything. And I think it's a manga too. Let me know down in the comments. I'm not really sure if it's a manga or if it's just a show, but let's check it out. And so the reason why I specifically have the camera like this, I know I do it by accident most of the time. Today specifically, I don't know what it is that I'm going to see that may or may not get this video, you know, have some copyright issues. So we're just going to go through and do it this way. Depending on what happens, I may or may not continue doing it this way. So, you know, we'll just check into it. So there are 3 episodes available. So if you have Crunchyroll Premium, you can see the newest episode, which I actually liked because it gave a lot of background onto this like sky blue hair character. I forget his name. Let's see, there's Bam, there's Rak, and Kun, or Kun, I think his name is. Yeah, it's probably Kun. But you know, since it's listen, I don't know how to read this shit. But listen, Kun is the light hair blue guy. the guy with the light blue hair. That's Kun. Okay, so I'm very interested to see more of his backstory, although it does seem a little creepy.
What are you doing, step bro?
It might be a little bit too much for me. So they actually have a link to the original webtoon here, which I'm actually interested in seeing. So I'm not sure. This is the publisher, and I guess this is a combined effort, a collab effort with Crunchyroll and Webtoon. So I guess we can just type in Tower of God and see what comes up here. Let's see, season 3, episode 58. So, and I can already tell from the thumbnails, this is probably like some crazy shit going on. So, you know, this is very interesting. This guy actually does not look the same in the anime. So let's go to the first episode here, which is episode 0. What do you desire? Money and wealth. Oh, it's a comic. Oh, okay. Okay, that's neat. Tower of God. Okay, is it just one page or begins now? It's up every Monday. Okay, so we found out that it is up every Monday. How do you go to the next page? Is it arrow keys? Fuck. Please don't tell me I have to create an account for this. Oh, right here. Here we go. At the top. And I guess for this I can do it this way. Maybe this'll. These like one-shot webtoons. Okay, so this is how the anime opens up. He lands on top of this chick. Wow, oh man, yo, he looks awful in these panels. So I'm gonna just scroll really fast because I have no idea what to expect from here, and I don't know if I'm legally allowed to show this. This is considered redistribution, so now that I thought about it, it's probably not. But definitely go check it out. I know there's probably a ton more stuff that I am not at all familiar with. So does this seem like, I guess we're gonna come to the final verdict here. This is gonna be a super short video now that I'm really like in it, and I'm probably gonna do very minimal editing on this. But from what I can tell from the first 3 episodes, I'm gonna tell you right now, usually anime get me hooked within the first 1 to 3, if not 5 episodes. Unless you're One Piece and I give you 35 episodes and you still don't manage to entertain me. From the first episode, it sparked my curiosity just enough and had just enough action and exposition and all this other stuff to really intrigue me to continue watching. And then the second episode only stacked on top of that, and then the third episode introduced a bunch of new characters that really seemed like they were gonna ramp stuff up, because there's basically like this King of the Hill battle in this most recent episode, and it's basically like you fight another team, you grab the crown, you sit on the throne, and then the other 2 teammates that you have, which everybody's broken up into 3 teammates at this point. So it started off as this huge battle royale, and then they broke up into 3s, and then after that there was another test after that. So these teams of 3 go against each other in, you know, combat style, and whoever holds the crown the longest wins and then gets points to move on to the next round. I think from what I remember, this is a bonus round, so it's voluntarily. So it's voluntary. So really, everybody's participating because they want extra points to get higher up on the floors and stuff. Sounds great, sounds cute, sounds adorable. There are a bunch of characters who are in here bodying the shit out of each other, and I can already tell that we're gonna get some super strong characters that is gonna make for some amazing fights. Now, as far as like character development and stuff and where we're gonna see that go, that's that type of shit I care about. It's a little hard to make videos on character development unless I'm just sitting and talking, but I mean, still, it seems like it's really dope. I'm very intrigued. I'm very excited and looking forward to the rest of this show. Have you guys checked out Tower of God? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you are somebody who is already familiar with it, does it get hype? Because I'm used to, like, when I was reading it, or at first I was like, kind of interested in this, and then I watched the first episode and I got mad Attack on Titan vibes for some reason, where I was like, this seems like it's going to develop really well later on. So if it does, please comment down below that it does. Please don't spoil it though. That would break my heart. That would absolutely be the most offensive thing that you could ever do to me, even though I know some of you absolutely do not care. So anyway, make sure to give today's video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Turn on the notifications so that way you can get notified whenever I upload or whenever I live stream. I do that Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Anyway, this has been your man, JaySama. I will see you guys next time. Make sure to keep it canon.